This is why I hate support players, guys.
I'm sorry, but most support players are boosted. I had to say it. I had to.
Support players are some of the worst players to play Marvel Rivals.
Who do you guys think, on average, are the worst players on the team? You guys know it's the support players, bro.
All the supports are quitting in Marvel Rivals and it's only one man to blame. Today we're going to be diving into some spicy drama that's been brewing in the Marvel Rivals community recently. The support role has become the center of a major controversy sparked by Twitch streamer and content creator Necros. And as a tank main who's flexing into support quite a bit, I feel like I needed to speak up and talk about this. But before we start, I want to thank everybody who has helped me get to 400 subscribers. The march for 1,000 is on. So if you enjoy videos like this, where I rant and talk about Marvel Rivals, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it helps me out a lot. All right, so if you've been out of the loop, Necros has stirred up a huge debate by calling support the easiest role and then telling players that they can essentially turn off their brain to play it. This obviously upset a lot of dedicated support mains to the point where many of them have gone on strike. I mean, take a look at this TikTok.
Word on the street is there's no strategists on Rivals right now. But now all the people who say strategist is an easy role are forced to play it, and they suck. But to all my strategist mains, where y'all at? Are we on Fortnite? Did y'all go back to Overwatch? Let me know.
Now, I've always said that I have a soft spot for support. They've played one of the hardest roles in the game, but clearly Necros, who is a Spider-Man main, has an issue with saying that. Now look, let's be fair for a moment. Is support the easiest role to pick up if you're new to Marvel Rivals? Honestly, yes. The mechanics required initially are lower. You don't need pinpoint accuracy or hit incredibly complex combos right out the gate. However, you can't say that and not acknowledge the fact that you're only just scratching the surface when you're talking about these types of things. Easy to start, yes, but mastering support, that's a completely different beast. I mean, here's the thing. Playing support at a high level isn't just about healing or providing shields occasionally. Supports are not just healers. Supports manage cooldowns. They have to maintain impeccable positioning to avoid the dives, right? And we already know what the dives look like in this meta. And often you kind of have to predict what the enemy is going to do before they actually happen. This is a really bad example, but if you're playing Adam Warlock, you kind of have to predict that, hey, my team is probably going to die here, so let me just pop my ult. If you have a Sue Storm, she kind of has to invisible before you actually take all that burst damage. So there's actual game sense, actual thought that goes into this than just point, click, and heal. And when we talk about high stakes of a character in your fights, if you lose a support first, that's it. Your push is over. I, as a tank player, have died early in a fight and somehow my team wins it still if they have two supports last alive. So yeah, one mistake from a support is a full team wipe automatically. But if I overextend as a tank and I die, we could still win that. And I learned this the hard way by actually flexing some of my games where, especially in this meta, since everybody has went on strike, I've been having to flex into these roles. And I know that if I'm not being on top of my game with support, they gonna be on my ass. Playing support to me is more stressful, more strategic, and it takes more game sense than playing tank or DPS. But let's zoom out even further. Part of the reason this controversy exploded is because the supports in Marvel Rivals feel underappreciated. And honestly, I kind of agree. It's coming from the community and it's coming from the developers. Let's talk about this right here. The hero pool for supports, I think there's only 8, and then Ultron's coming in. So yeah, that's like 8 or 9 supports. So their options to play compared to a tank or a DPS are so limited. So you're getting into a bunch of games and you're just playing the same character over and over and over again. And on top of that, a character like Mantis has gotten a nerf every single patch, making her weaker and weaker and weaker, as well as other supports that have been nerfed in every single patch. Now, I do agree at the beginning of the game, supports were a little bit overtuned, but around season 1.5, they felt fine to me. So couple that up when someone influential like Necros, and let alone a Spider-Man one trick, right? And we all hate Spider-Man one tricks. If you don't hate Spider-Man one tricks, then I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place, because I hate Spider-Man. When someone influential like Necros comes along and minimizes the complexity of the role, it just further amplifies frustrations within the support community. Again, supports are not just there to heal. They're there to do damage, they're there to manage cooldowns, they're there to keep you alive and help the team win. I've also seen a couple of screenshots of people getting less because of this new performance-based metric from Marvel Rivals. That hasn't been my experience so far, especially my boy Metro. If you guys are a support player watching this, go ahead and follow him. He does really good stuff. But I asked him, I was like, hey, do you get lower RR than a tank player or this? He's like, you know, I get the same amount usually every game. And I think that people getting lower, that's gotta either be just cope or fake, because I have not seen that in my experience. At the end of the day, I see both sides. Supports can be easier to learn initially, yes, but the role itself has a deceptively high skill ceiling. The best support players are game changers who single-handedly swing matches with precise timing, critical decision making, and it's not about turning off your brain. It's about keeping your brain and them also keeping their brain working overtime every second of the match. As a tank, I can zone out and somehow still be in the fight. Or as a DPS, I can just sit there and point, click, 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 click. I think it's also funny coming from Necros because obviously he's in a position where I hope to be one day where he just plays this game all day. So maybe after putting in like 12 hours a day, every single game, he has to complain about something. But also, you're playing Spider-Man, and this is more advice for people who are dive characters. If you're in the other team's back line, what do you think is happening to your back line? If you have the same characters, they're probably getting dove too. On top of that, if you're playing Spider-Man or Black Panther or Magic and you're out of line of sight, you're not getting healed. Play off a health pack or something, you know what I'm saying? So here's my take. Necros isn't completely wrong, but he definitely oversimplified things. Support players 100% do deserve more respect, both from the community and from the game balance updates. But enough from me. What do you guys think about this controversy? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this rant, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any more Marvel Rivals content. I have a whole playlist where I just rant about the rank state and what is going on in the Valorant community, so make sure you guys check that out. But for now, thanks for watching and peace.